Hello! So last time you remember we had recorded some drums. We're not going to be able to use those drums. Those drums were really well played, really well recorded. However, the room mic, the little woodpecker we were using, the little ribbon mic, there seems to be a problem. There was a buzz coming through it. I checked the preamp we were going through, checked the Neve, another mic does great through it. So I think there's just something up with the woodpecker. We may have to take it to the shop. I don't think it's the ribbon because we were getting signal, but it could be one of the active components. We'll see how that turns out. So we're gonna use the drum machine and just roll with it. And all right, we've got quite a bit on our plate today. Today we are hoping to get some acoustic guitar, not acoustic like we're thinking of. We're gonna make it a little dreamier. We've got some effects processors we're gonna run it through. I'm hoping to get to a couple guitars today. I've got a Farfisa organ that I'm hoping to commit to tape, and then that should fill up most of our 8 tracks. Might even be able to get to a scratch vocal today. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so first we're gonna start with this dreamy acoustic guitar that I mentioned a moment ago. This is standard Yamaha guitar, nothing fancy, no Martins, nothing vintage or crazy, just something you can get anywhere. I have one of these silly little pickups that you can place into the hole here, and it actually sends the signal into 1/4 inch. So you have more of a regulated signal. I'm not going to bother miking this up. We do have some good acoustic miking techniques that we can get into later, but for now we're just going to use this direct input since we want it to be dreamier anyway. We're going to send this acoustic directly into the same Pro MPA that we sent the toms into on the last set. I've got it set up to where that pickup in 1/4 inch is giving us a good signal. So now we're going to route this into some other effects. Okay, so next I've got the guitar routed from the MPA up here, got it through the patch bay down below, into the MIDI verb. Now I'm sending it from the MIDI verb out and then into our digital delay. And what we're going to do is try to time the delay with the actual signal of the drums, with the actual tempo of the drums. So here we go. All right, so we finished the track and it sounds pretty good. It's not going to be perfect, but we were going for that real Cocteau Twins, just real dreamy sound, and we can isolate it. And it has all that nuance, it has all of that dreaminess. You still get the original strum from the pickup, but then that's really covered by the MIDI verb and then by the delay as it decays. So I'm happy with this. All right, so next we're gonna go with a real noisy guitar. I'm gonna use my little Duosonic, again, nothing fancy. I think this is even a Squire edition. You don't need some $3,000 Jazzmaster to make some great sounds. Now I am gonna go direct on this, and I know this is somewhat controversial. If you feel good with the sound, do whatever works. I know that several bands post all the time about how they go direct with everything until they go to mix it down in the studio. Whatever works. If it sounds good to you, it's your music. So what I'm gonna do is send it through that same MPA, so because we've got a lot of good gain in there. It is tube driven. We're going to send that out, and instead of going into any delay, since we're wanting a lot more noise this time, we're gonna send it into this MXR distortion pedal. It's a custom audio overdrive. And then we're also gonna send it to a blues driver, just in case we want the dynamics of the song to have any extra oomph, to have any extra noise there at the end. Again, this is gonna be a simple guitar part. It's gonna build the structure of the song. So let's try it out. All right, that's a little nastier than I'm wanting it, but let's get some ears on it. that's just the clean. Here's gonna be our standard guitar. And here's the part I forgot to show y'all on the last one. So as you're gonna go to record, you wanna make sure that it's signaling there on the tape machine. Obviously we've got an intermittent cable here somewhere in the mix, but make sure that you're getting a signal over here. Now I'm pushing it kind of hard. We don't want to push it this hard, especially with this noisiness. So we're probably going to turn it down at the pedal level. But you have all sorts of gain staging, you know, especially with the tube amp that we're going through. So choose which overdrive you want to work the most. All right, so here's the previous Dreamy guitar we recorded. And here's our distorted guitar. So you can hear how you can get them to sit however you want, right? You can bring the Dreamy one way up, let the distortion one be a supporting actor, bring the dreamier one down, give it more gain. So yeah, once we get to the mixing stage, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. All right, and for our next guitar, we are gonna try something else because when we're putting multiple guitars, I don't love having it coming from the same source, right? If we do one direct, I'd like to do one live, one amped, and if we're doing two amped guitars, I typically like to have them with different amps despite how you adjust the EQ and all the settings, etc. So for the second guitar, I'm going to do a less of a noisy, well, still noisy, but it's going to be more of a noodly part. It's going to be more of a unplanned solo, not solo part. We're going to run it through same guitar, the Duosonic. I'm going to run it through a deluxe Memory Man that's down here, the Electro Harmonics Classic Memory Man, and then directly into the Sound City back there. Now I've got the Sound City mic'd up with, again, the Sennheiser D421, the great guitar sound. So we are going to do this live and see what happens. Okay, so one thing I didn't mention is when I was running it through the Sound City, I had the Sound City's gain and volume cranked. So it was a very loud, with the Memory Man effect on it. You can hear it now. And it's a completely different distortion than what we had earlier. So I think those with the acoustic, and don't forget our backwards drums over here, I think the combination is all gonna sit really nice together. Now, let's not forget bass. Let's get some low frequencies on this guy. All right, so I've got it set up. This is our Korg MS-20, so not a bass guitar, but it's gonna add a different tone to the sound altogether. I've got it running through the MPA again, and then that's gonna go through the Optotube compressor, little chameleon compressor here. We want to flatten the sound a little bit. And then also take advantage of the filter. So we'll see how it goes. All right. sounding pretty good. We got our normal drums, got our backwards drums, got our little acoustic guitar, got our crazy distorted guitar, and then we got our little noodly guitar. I think that bass, I think that chord is gonna sit nicely in the middle of everything. All right, so next we've got enough room. There's 2 more tracks on this reel. We've got 8 tracks to work with. We've got enough room for that Farfisa organ I talked about earlier, and maybe even a scratch vocal. So we may have a skeleton of a song pretty soon here. Well, can you believe it? I set up the Farfisa, I recorded it, and I didn't even show it. So what I did is I wanted a live sound for the Farfisa too. So I sent it through the same Sound City amp that's back there, recorded it with the same Sennheiser microphone, just kept it simple, and it turned out pretty cool. Now I did run it through the Memory Man, and I also ran it through the Neve preamp, the Sennheiser through the Neve. And I kind of pushed it a little bit, and I also pushed it on the machine, meaning it was pass +4 at some moments. So you're gonna have some of that staticky, some of the sound breaking up on that organ. Here, you can hear it a little better. Now it's not perfect, right? It's not a digital recording. So to me, this is where the magic is. To me, this is where the analog tape sound really brings something more than just a pure signal. All right, so as we've been mentioning, we nearly have a whole song here. What I'm gonna do next is just put down a scratch vocal part. Just do something quick, simple. I've got our Rode microphone, little Australian made microphone, perfect for vocals. It's running through its own preamp. The preamp is going, I'm actually going ahead and putting it through the Neve, so we get some of that Neve coloration as well. And then it's gonna go into our last track on the tape machine. So we'll see how it sounds. Okay, so at this point we have a full tape. We've got 8 tracks, and there's a little room after the vocals we could add more to. But I think we're just gonna leave it as is. Now, so what we might do is we can bounce this down, get a stereo mix. We can send that to anywhere. You can make it digital. You can put it to a 2-track, to a stereo tape deck, mix deck. What I might do, since we still have 2 38s that are functioning, I might send all 8 of these tracks into a stereo image onto our second 38, so we have 6 more tracks that are available for adding additional songs. Now, it will be very important that we compress it, or at least limit it, at least give it a good level. So we'll see how it goes.